Is anything... Wait a second, do you hear me? Why is this not working? Should I do it in the dark?
Oh, like you're just like in spirit form? You just want to like come
Yeah,
through.
I guess I just
Okay,
came through as the darkness.
dude, we have a message right now coming live from the darkness, the crystal messenger, the darkness from the crystal messenger. Amen,
The
amen.
darkness.
A woman, a woman.
A woman. Well, since the darkness has arrived, I'm.
Yo, darkness, are you still there? Yo, darkness, are you still there?
The dark is still here.
Yo,
I feel
yo,
like,
darkness.
if this isn't a character assassination, if this isn't a censorship, then what else is? So if you wanted to know what the week was about Chiron and Aries and Mars, this is fucking it.
So just to catch you guys up, we just did like a really brilliant hour of IG Live talk radio, and I was in space and everything, and we broke down some really incredible transits of the week. And as I was talking about like my deep commitment to love and family, etc., my dad was also texting me and yelling to get the fuck out of the living room. So then the live started to break apart. So we thought it's the universe saying finish up on another live, right? But now here we are outside, and in fact, we're back outside. We're Mercury is still in its shadow period, and Nicole is now speaking to us. Jessica, can you hear Nicole when she speaks from the darkness? Darkness, are you still there? Okay, we may have lost the darkness. I'm finding out right now. So what happened was Nicole was just swallowed by the darkness during her character assassination, which can happen on IG Live. It can. Okay, let's see.
I am back in the light. Would you look at that?
This is like the Persephone myth just playing out before our eyes, right? It's like a little bit of hell, a little bit of light, a little bit of, those are seasons. These are the seasons of life. Have I made that joke before? Damn, I hope not. Welcome back, you guys.
I literally became a black square on the internet. Like literally for like wow. That was wild.
And even if you didn't decide, I don't know if you were a Black Tuesday square, it's like you even tried to avoid all that. And in fact, here you are on the day that the sun is opposing Jupiter. You are getting that reflection of abundance from, no, you better fucking get you're the black square now.
Here we are, Saturn.
And then you leaned into it, and then you said, okay, I am that black square. And in fact, you reappeared.
Then I came back. How crazy is that? Accepting the dark to live back into the light. Well, I guess we can use that as the recap of what we were talking about, because to put it all into terms again, because it just will not be the same. But so today we are finally kind of realizing that we have this choice and we have this new world, and we're seeing ourselves come to this opposition and this standing with Jupiter, the planet of these old stories and these old truths and these old myths that have been passed down to us. So they're really looking at each other now and going, in where do these myths have I embraced, and where the ones that have formed me, the ones that have become who I am, and in which ways are they not who I am? Which ones are totally, at odds and I can't compromise with? We have to find those compromisings basically today. But it is an inward process because of Chiron and Mars. Chiron and Mars is indicating that it's a complete inward thing that we want to jump on and we want to attack, or we want to move forward, but we have to be okay with the understanding that, especially these next 3 days, we're just going to be doing it with ourselves. Because then when we go into the 15th, where we see which is tomorrow, we're going to see the sun now, after going through its opposition yesterday with Jupiter, it's going to now hit another opposition with Pluto, which is all about these secrets and essentially because Pluto rules Scorpio. So it's about these secrets. It's about the secrets that are coming out on the broader stage that are now redefining who we want to be in relation to that too. How are we moving forward, and what is it that we're sacrificing in ourselves? Because now to go back to the Aries energy and Chiron, which is retrograde, which I did mention before, but now I'm remembering again. Chiron is retrograde.
Right. Chiron is retrograde. So Mars
Yeah.
is not retrograde yet. Mars
Mm-hmm.
will be going retrograde in September, but now today, and for the next, so basically like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday,
Mm-hmm.
Chiron and Mars are at the same degree, basically around 9 degrees of Aries, and Chiron is moving retrograde.
Yeah.
Whoa.
And that is the darkness, right? Because like we were saying, Aries is the eye for an eye, like how you mentioned, and that eye for an eye concept is what is redoing itself. We can't do this. Chiron is here to show Mars that it has to go in and feel its own pain. We can't always project the pain to get it from the other, which is the opposition from us, which is also what the opposition
Totally.
of yesterday and tomorrow are showing us. The opposition that we have in expressing our full authentic self in our personal world, with all of that, and within our legacy, like what we give, the actual new story that we get to choose to give our kids and the next generation, which is a very different, because now we are embodying that shaman in ourselves in the way that we can create the narrative. And then on the 15th we kind of sacrifice something within our identity, kind of once and for all. But we're not seeing it leave yet with the retrograde energy that's still lingering until September. So for now, we're not seeing it leave, but we are coming to terms with that sacrifice. We're coming to terms with the part of ourselves that is now forever, leaving and holding its peace wherever it's going. So now, with that being said, the 16th and the 17th is when the moon now gives us a break by going into Gemini and allowing us to, instead of feeling all of that intensity, and really in the first 3 days we're not going to be feeling it, we're probably going to be seeing the intensity, and then through the 16th and the 17th we're kind of like expressing all of what happened. Those are our days to kind of give ourselves the break to process and to be there for others and let them be there for us. And because we have the support of Gemini. So Gemini wants us to team back up with our allies, because one important thing that I did learn about Mars and Venus is that they're both about war, and it kind of changed a lot. And like it gave me a new perspective of Venus, because Venus is our partners in war, the one that's on our side, where Mars is the opposition. So
Whoa.
yeah, so it's kind of cool. Are both about war in a sense, and but with Venus, it's like you get to sit back behind the scenes of the war and like have that conversation with like your mate or whatever, your friend, your companion, whoever, and just kind of reevaluate where you're at in a very mental way. And then the 18th and the 19th, this is where we're now taking it to that next level of feeling and kind of going through an intense healing from the 18th up until the 20th, which is when we see the new moon. Like it's an intense healing period, so a lot of different feelings will be felt, because all of what we're going through within these 3 days that are kind of giving us our new definitions, or we're picking our new definitions. We're picking it more than we're getting it given to us, if that makes sense. So now we're picking that definition, and on the 18th, 19th, and 20th, we're really feeling that definition like completely. So by the time the new moon happens, now we're like, yeah, really seeing and feeling all of our nurture within ourselves too, and how we really do know how to give ourselves what we want just as much as, like, we don't need to give it as much. I feel like that's going to be a thing that comes up as well, because like how you were saying before, that is like the mom now finally closing out all this cancer energy for that we've been experiencing for more than a year. We've been seeing these same themes come up over and over for more than a year in our personal lives and our families, how we define, and now with a pandemic and all this stuff to like redefine it. And now we're really finally giving us our close on that. We're like seeing the good with the bad, and we're finally moving forward. So this whole week
Hmm.
though is all about moving forward, but feeling like you're getting dragged. And like retro energy, even though it is a move forward, you still feel like, you circled the block really. You like made the left turn, now you have to make the other left turn and the other left turn and the other left turn to get back on track. And it's like you're gonna get there, you're gonna keep going, but you just need to do that real quick. And this
Hmm.
what this week is moving forward. And moving forward in an array of emotions. So really take the 16th and 17th to think, to meditate, to be more contemplative about it and allow yourself to go through it. And then the 18th, 19th, then just do the crying and do the intensity within yourself too. But if you can, give yourself time alone. And we might be surrounded by people because we're still, North Node and Gemini, we're still talking to multiple people. I think probably now more than ever than we've seen during quarantine. Like I think the beginning of quarantine was giving us our real time alone, and now it's like nope, we're on it again. Like we're all doing it. We're having the conversations. We're going out there in however way we can. So it's like okay, we still have to move forward with that, but we really do get to step into that now with that old and the new at the same time, and knowing that they're both here for a reason. They're playing out, and we're moving on, but in not, moving on, but seeing the same old, but moving on. We're really gonna feel it though this week, in my opinion. And I mean, here we are, coming out of the darkness, so I'm already feeling it.
Dude, I mean, it's funny because I feel like we just had this whole long live stream before that actually was like comprehensive, but like it's funny because we're thinking about like the lessons of like what you just said really strikes me, which is like there has been this, it's like the divine feminine in whatever way has been wounded up until this point because the system has been so toxic masculine. So
Hmm.
this really is the first, like I was saying in the last one, it's so Cancer, like 2020 Cancer new moon. I love that this year's signature is like an extra new moon in Cancer. I love that it's on my birthday. I feel like it's so me to be like, wait, give me one more new moon.
Yeah, don't you think the people we've been jealous of with those golden perfect relationships are also going through major communication renovation? The sacrifices are the energy drains. Yeah, and kind of, well, yeah, but sometimes the energy drains are where you lived, or like what you loved, and that's the whole point. And exactly, it's either you love yourself so much right now that you can stand with this new moon energy and walk into it like really just shedding, or you don't love yourself honestly, which is the other side of it, and you see that love everywhere else, but you don't see the struggle at all. So everyone's kind of gonna get that other side, and they're gonna get to see the flipped perspective, whether it's like because it happens around you or it happens to you. Like those themes of that flipping energy and getting to really experience both sides to see where things do look golden but then they aren't, or or vice versa, where you get to really just step into this with knowing that the love that you have for yourself, no matter what happens, no matter who goes and who comes, like you're gonna actually be okay. So, but being okay with the drains actually draining out, and now not really, stepping out of the tub, so to say, and like actually drying off and putting on your clothes and moving forward. Like watching the drain, watching everything drain is what the 18th, 19th, and 20th are about. Like
Mm,
that is what that Cancer energy is gonna be kind of closing out, like all the water draining, and then we get to step out of it, actually getting out of the tub on the 20th, if that makes
yeah.
sense. Like, getting out of that spiritual bath energy that we've all been kind of sitting in. So let's see what happens when we move forward. It'll be interesting, honestly. Mm.
I feel like we are so fucking prepared on this Moonual coming up. So please join us and we will make sure you have all the tools you need to fucking cry your way into feeling actually better. So thank you, Nicole. I think we should just like kill it while we're hot. I'll put it online now. Thank you so much.
All right, guys. Mm-mm.